Welcome back, everybody. This is BronzeLeagueGaming. I am Phobos, bringing you another one-on-one Starcraft 2 replay. This game is between Goatwoman, good to meet you, Goatwoman, as the red Terran in the top right corner of Xel'Naga Caverns, and her opponent, JackNoPlaque, as the blue Zerg in the bottom left corner of Xel'Naga Caverns. We see both players starting out very normally, just droning up, SCVing up, gathering those nice pretty little minerals to see what kind of shenanigans they can get themselves into this game. We do see JackNoPlaque a little bit of, there goes the extractor, and there we see an extractor trick. Very tricky little bit, not even a minute in and we're seeing shenanigans already. Alright. Do see that supply depot at the front of the base here. Very important as Terran against Zerg, actually. As soon as you get any kind of like Zergling run by into your mineral line, you're pretty much screwed. They're really hard to recover if you get more than like 3 Zerglings in there. Unless you have like, 8 Marines just standing by. But if they got to the mineral line and you have 8 Marines just sitting there, then you probably weren't doing your job very well. Do see that spawning pool coming down at 12. So we're not going to see anything really super early. I bet you that spawning pool is just there for defensive purposes to prevent rushing of the Terran player, Goatwoman. It's a very interesting name. I wonder how you came to that name, but it is a story for another time. Right now we're casting a game. Do you see that spawning pool about 2/3 of the way done? So that Zerg scout is finally moving out. No, what is that guy doing? We already have a, oh, that's an overlord. So we do see that Zerg scout moving out. Do have that second Rax going down here in the back. He needs to drop a supply depot here at the front though, or he's just going to let this little guy in and see exactly what he's up to. There we see the Overlook Man coming down, so that is good timing. No gas yet for Goatwoman. Very indicative of a very barracks intensive play. There, oh, just in time. If that guy had not taken that step back, then he would have blocked that and been able to get inside. As of now, has no idea what's on the other side of that barracks, which is another barracks. Do have this Overlord parked over this little hole, which is not big enough to prevent Marines from shooting it if they ever get that close. Do have this Marine Overlord, that's not a Marine, that is an Overlord. Do have this Overlord, almost called it a Marine again, heading over into the corner, getting some peeks at the back here, hopefully maybe sacking that a little later to grant some additional scouting information. Do have an additional supply depot moving down, which is good because he is getting kind of close to caps, especially off of 3 production buildings. Know that you don't usually count the command centers as production buildings, but it actually does produce things. Do have that expansion going down for JackNoPlaque here at his natural, about about halfway done, 1/3 to the half. That first queen out, not really doing anything. Wonder what that queen's up at. There goes the creep tumor, and hopefully we're going to see some larva injects. Maybe pump out some Zerglings here. Let me go ahead and bring up that production tab. We do not have any Zerglings on the board yet for JackNoPlaque. Sorry there, buddy. Forgot your name for a second. Dual barracks, continually pumping out Marines here. Do have that first 2 refineries going down here, so we may be seeing a pretty significant tech switch here. Do have that command center going down for Goatwoman here, so she will be able to stay on par with that Zerg player. This drone was able to spot this pretty big push, so that will be foreseen, and hopefully the Zerg player can make some Zerglings in time. That larva inject still has to finish though, and then they still have to turn into Zerglings before those Marines get any much closer. Because even if they only take out this expansion, that is pretty detrimental at this point. Don't focus on the Overlord. Get the. Oh, what are you doing? Okay. We do see a supply cap, which is very bad because he will not be able to make any more Zerglings if these guys don't do well. There is the first wave, and these guys fended off pretty handily actually. And it looks like this expansion is going to go down here. Do you see another queen almost out? Is it going to finish? It is going to finish in time. That first drone is done. It's going to chill by the Vespene Geyser. And there goes the queen. So we do see the Zerglings moving down. Nice pincer movement actually. It's going to prevent quite a bit of a repeat. Did lose the queen though. Quite a significant loss. Does lose a Marine, and those Zerglings do go down. Do have an Overlord here, and the Broodlings actually trap him against the minerals. Lose quite a few Marines to those Broodlings. These guys are at pretty low health, actually. If he managed to bring in another wave of Zerglings, he could finish those off. But he chooses instead to go with a wall of Spine Crawlers here at the front. Not a decision I really agree with, because he's almost moved himself into a containing position. Don't send those up there. Oh, there he goes. Bye, Marines. Good job. So, looks like JackNoPlaque is going to continue to make some more Zerglings. Try and realizes he does need some sort of defense here. Do see a factory, another barracks. Wow. And the factory down. Factory coming down with the tech lab, so maybe some tank play. Do see that expansion moving out. Very good timing on that. After doing some major damage to his opponent, Goatwoman here decides to take an expansion, him or herself. I'm sorry, I don't know, but your name is really confusing me. Is gonna get that saturated? Maybe? No split. Just gonna start building stuff and drop a mule. All right. I would actually build a bunker here. Increases the survivability of these Marines very much so. Very well, very effective, however you want to say that. Do you have a Hellion out on the board? What's it's doing way back here? It's not. Don't know. It needs to be out here with these Marines, creating additional harassment. These Spine Crawlers have moved down from the ramp to the front here. It's going to be a much more difficult to destroy again this expansion. And the Marines are going to snipe another Overlord, capping JackNoPlaque again. Maybe Jack's a dentist. That makes sense. And he just sneaks him around. And it is forces the cancel on JackNoPlaque. Very smart play by Goatwoman here, not choosing to engage and just sneaking around the side. Not going to be able to sneak up into the main, though. That is way too tight of a pincer, and going kind of overboard with the Spine Crawler placement here. I would say 3 would have probably been plenty, maybe close, but you certainly didn't, especially with Zergling reinforcements, you didn't need 5. And we could bring them back down again and force another cancellation, but we see Goatwoman, not aware of that, deciding to pull back. And we do see Marauders out on the board now. It's going to make Marauders do make short work of Spine Crawlers here. So this defense is becoming less and less viable as each moment goes on, as more Marauders enter the board here. Do have Stimpack moving down here, about 2/3 of the way done, which means it still has a whole another minute till it's finished. No concussive shell yet, but against Zerglings, that's really not a big deal. Holy, that's a lot of Zerglings. Hope he gets some bunkers up soon. Do have Blue Flame? Blue Flame Hellions out. So those will be able to take care, and they missed the Zerglings actually. Those need to turn around and get back really quickly, or these guys are going to be in a lot of trouble. They're all the way on the other side of the map. Goatwoman. That's not good. He's going to lose a lot of those SCVs before he can even attempt to pull them out here. This little contingent of Marines is going out. These Hellions are finally starting to move on their way back. Zerglings do pull across the reeds, do lose vision, and man, that lot of SCVs went down right there. But Goatwoman is still ahead, even with that loss, because the Zerg has been confined to one base this entire time. There's been essentially no production, no mining off of this natural. So Goatwoman, even after suffering quite the loss there, is in a very commanding lead. Do have an Overlord parked over here over the 4th natural to prevent any kind of scouting, maybe? 2 Overlords, don't know what they're doing. More Hellions, they move back into position. Let's see if she is gonna do anything with them. Food count is 106 to 49, very indicative of Goatwoman's lead here. Just 2 bases is absolutely slamming JackNoPlaque on his 1 base play here. And there's nothing here to roast. Line them up. There we go. Torches a whole contingent of Zerglings. Fortunately, those Hellions aren't going to do a whole lot of damage against that Queen, so the Hellions are forced to pull out, and you lose 1. Looks like these Zerglings are going to go after these Hellions. If they stop for just a moment, they'll be able to roast quite a few. It takes, what, 2 roasts to kill a Zergling, and there's 4 of them there, so they're able to handle that quite readily. You have the first siege tank with siege mode out on the field now. Not taking siege position, though. There we go. Do you see the switch? Resaturation of the mineral line has occurred, and we do see more spine crawlers for JackNoPlaque. I'm really not agreeing with this tech choice. There has been no tech choice. You're on Zergling still. It's time to switch it up, buddy. Alright, do have a Spire moving out, so we are going to see a change in play. Unfortunately, due to JackNoPlaque's triple barracks action here, all those Marines are going to make it very hard for those Marines to be, or Mutalisks to be extremely effective at this point in the game. Especially since those Marines are rolling level 1 upgrades, or upgrade. And we do see a big confrontation looking to gear up towards the front. I would actually split this half in half to kind of divert fire between the 2 points here. And everything moves in. Needs to snipe that one before it finishes. Does lose a lot of Zerglings to those Hellions. This is actually a pretty strong unit composition with those Marauders, Marines. That stim does go down, and it looks like everything here at the front is just going to get sniped and rolled. This expansion is totally toast. Broodling is gone. Do have the drone sitting here behind the spine crawlers, which we proved 5-1's viable defense, so I don't know what he thinks 2 are going to do. You have the Spire up, not in time to make any Mutalisks though. You have 2 on the board, but against that many Marines, I don't see him being too effective. He is quickly becoming, JackNoPlaque is quickly becoming supply cap once again, losing a lot of Overlords there. Almost, he got 1 with 7 health. The lair is going down, and this looks like Goatwoman has completely rolled his opponent at this point. Or she has. Whatever this is. You see the spine crawlers moving up. JackNoPlaque just hanging on for dear life, and there we see the GG. Counter GG by Goatwoman. Very polite, very well mannered for being a goat. Or a woman. And this is Phobos. Thank you for tuning in. This is Starcraft 2 1v1 featuring Goatwoman and JackNoPlaque. Very good unit composition. I'm seeing this Marauder Marine Hellion build much more against Zerg, and I gotta say it's been quite effective in every matchup I've seen. If you want us to cast some of your own games, submit them to BronzeLeaguePerspective at Hotmail.